Children's Torah portion, Vayeitzei, Genesis 28:10 through 32:3. On his way to Laban's, Yaakov stopped at Haran to set a rock under his head to sleep. And while he slept, he had a dream, in which there was a ladder from heaven to the earth, with the Malachim, angels, going up and down. And Yahweh was standing over him and promised that land to Yaakov's descendants. When Yaakov awoke, he set up an altar using the stone that he had slept on, because he knew that Yahweh was there. And this is now the original Temple Mount in Jerusalem. There he is sleeping, and there's the dream of the ladder. When Yaakov awoke, he set up an altar using the stone that he slept on, because he knew Yahweh was there. And there's is Yaakov burning a sacrifice to Yahweh, which is now in modern day time is Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Yaakov went on his way and came to a well with shepherds who were waiting to water their flocks. He asked them where they were from, and they knew Laban. They said that they knew him and that he was well. They pointed out Laban's daughter, who was coming with her father's flocks. When Yaakov saw her, he rolled back the stone that was on the well and watered her sheep. Then he told her who he was. Laban came and took Yaakov to his house, and he stayed there for a while. And there's Yaakov moving the rock from the top of the well so Raquel can water her sheep. After a month, Laban said that Yaakov could not work for him without anything in return, and asked him what his wages were. Yaakov said that he would work for 7 years to marry his younger daughter, Raquel. So here's Yaakov dreaming of Raquel working hard so he could marry her. Laban agreed, and it seemed to Yaakov only a few days because he loved Rachel, which is Raquel. But when it was time for Yaakov to marry her, Laban tricked him and gave him his older daughter Leah instead. When Yaakov realized what had been done, he was very upset. Laban said that it was the custom of the place to have the older daughter get married before the younger one, and he told him that he would give Rachel to him if he promised to work for him another 7 years. So Yaakov promised and married Rachel. Also, Yahweh saw that Yaakov did not love Leah, so he opened her womb, but he did not allow Rachel to have children. Leah gave birth to Reuben and later birth to Shimeon, then Levi, then Judah, and then Leah stopped giving birth. Rachel saw that her sister was having children and that she was not, so she gave her maidservant Bilhah to Yaakov as a wife. Bilhah had a son which Rachel named Dan, and later one named Naphtali. Leah saw that she had stopped giving birth and gave her maidservant Zilpah to Yaakov as a wife, and Zilpah bore Gad and later Asher. Leah then had another son and called him Yishar. Then she gave birth to Zebulun, followed by a daughter, Dinah. Yahweh remembered Rachel and opened her womb and gave her birth to a son whom she called Joseph. After Rachel gave birth, Yaakov went to Laban and asked him if he could take his family and leave. Laban did not want Yaakov to leave because he was making him wealthy. He promised to give Yaakov certain lambs according to what Yaakov gave to him, and most of the lambs were what Yaakov said would be his. So Yaakov set up these poles for the and when the sheep came and watered at these poles, they gave birth to speckled, spotted, and striped sheep, which were now Yaakov's sheep. Laban would not let them leave and kept deceiving Yaakov. So Yaakov called Rachel and Leah, told him that Yahweh had told him to leave, and asked him if it was okay with them. They said it was, so they left without telling Laban, and they were leaving. Rachel took Laban's idols. When Laban found out that Yaakov had left, he went after him. When he caught up with him, he asked about his idols, and Yaakov said that whoever had them should die, for he did not know that Rachel had taken them. Laban searched all over for the idols, but did not find them, because Rachel had hidden them in her camel's pack and sat on them, saying that she was unclean and could not get up. Laban and Yaakov set up an altar there, and they both went their separate ways. These are what the idols of Laban's looked like that Rachel had stolen. And this is Laban searching for the idols and Rachel sitting on them. Vayaitzai.